What's going on, everyone? Now we are officially live. I appreciate everyone for popping on. It looks like you can see my screen and see me and hear me clearly at any time during this webinar. If you have a question, go ahead and throw it in the chat box and I'll pop over there and answer it for you as we go through, and we'll do some questions and answers towards the end. But here is a quick little intro for you guys. My name's Tyler Tashiro. I've been working hand in hand with Mark for almost 4 years now, and Invisible Empire is one of our amazing passion projects. It's something that we see can expand into this grand vision with amazing affiliates earning insane commissions, serving people in an amazing deep ways across the world. And I mean, our vision for this thing is absolutely just galactic, and we can't wait to expand it with you guys, and it wouldn't be possible with you guys, so thank you so much for being here. I've earned this year, so this year I officially launched my internet business. Although I've been mentoring and working with Mark for quite a while now, I haven't been into the internet game until this year, and when I actually committed to going deep into it, I created an 8 to 12K a month income pretty instantly within my first 30 to 60 days of taking this seriously, launching ads, doing all that kind of stuff. So it's doable. If it's doable for me, which I'm no one special, I actually have a lot of tech gremlins. I don't like tech stuff, so it's weird that I'm here right now even hosting the webinar. But if it's doable for me, it's doable for all of you guys. The amazing part about our community is people are so real in here that there is no difference between someone like Landon or Chris or William or people that are crushing it and people that haven't made a sale yet, other than there's just a little bit of time and effort that goes into getting into that position. And so I'm excited for this webinar today. Really quick, what I want you guys to do before we get started is go ahead and drop in the chat box. If you look on the control panel on your right, drop in the chat box the number one reason. Once we get 5 number one reasons why you guys are excited to learn the top 3 key questions that Mark has used to close millions of dollars in sales over the last few years, we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. So 5 people at least have to drop their number one reason why they are here this morning. You could be doing anything else, but this morning you chose to be here on the webinar with me and the rest of the Invisible Empire guys and girls that are in here, and I want to know why. I want to know exactly why you guys are here, and exactly why you guys chose to be here instead of anywhere else. And so let's see. Jim says, looking forward to making my first couple sales. Robert says, I want to help 1 billion people worldwide. Robert, that's an awesome goal there. Dimitri says, you want to take your business from 10 to 15, 10K to 15 within 2 months. Dimitri, you seem like you're already on the path, brother. That's awesome. Robert says this is just the start. George says earn cash and learn the system. Amen, George. Leo says leveraging wisdom. Julia says excited about selling Invisible Empire and Renaissance, and I want to present it with confidence. Anna says, I want to be more confident. William says to learn from you. William, we want to learn from you too, brother. Christy says, I suck at talking to people. Christy, we are going to get over that. We're going to get over that. Alex Hamilton says, in order to generate more sales, which will allow me to serve more people, that's the name of the game. Darwin says, I've been in sales all my life. I wish I had this training back then. I desperately need it. Christy says, about anything that's absolutely selling you're scared of. We're going to get over that, like I said. Tom says you want to take your business to the next level. Me too, brother. And I appreciate the rest of you guys who are popping in here. Greg says you're here to learn. Awesome, Greg. We're here to teach. We're here to show you. So thank you guys for participating. Let's move right into this thing. So in regards to the 3 key closing questions, what I want you guys to do today is, as I'm going through this, whether you're taking notes on your computer, whether you're taking notes in your journal, write down each of these questions and each of these bullet points, depending on the question, explaining why these are so powerful so that you can use them. And what I like to do specifically is every single time I hop on the phone with a new lead, I start with these 3 questions because it'll expedite the call. It'll actually allow me to provide more value to the people that I'm speaking to. And on top of that, just as importantly as anything, as all of you guys are on here as well, I'm a lifestyle guy, and so I don't want to spend 45 minutes on the phone with a lead no matter if they buy or not. I want to make it in and out quick. I want to get them their content, their information fast, and I want to move on because I don't want to sit here and feel like I'm in a sales job which we're not in. We're entrepreneurs and we're here to earn and help people and share content, so on and so forth. So the first key question here that we want to go over today, and this is what I start with every single call. Every call that I've made in the last 3.5 years, I start with this number one question, and it's, what did you like the best about the webinar or the presentation? right? So even if people are, for me, even if people are coming from my podcast, from Facebook Live, from any other stream of content that I do, it doesn't even have to be about the webinar or the presentation, that's what this is geared towards, because I'm teaching you guys how to close the leads from your webinar and from the automated sales process that we have. But this works completely across the board with anything that you're doing. What did you like the best? And the reason why you want to ask this to your lead right off the bat is because you want to get them into yes momentum. You see, not even a trick. The key here in this first question is, and this is what most people don't understand, is that most of enrollment is letting the lead tell you how to enroll them. Because you're not going to be able to assume all of the problems and BS that's going on in their life right now. You're here to be a solutions master to those problems. So the lead will actually most of the time end up telling you exactly how they want to be sold. So when you ask them, what do you like best about the webinar or the presentation, they might say, hey, I love the content that you guys are doing. Back in my, and the other projects or businesses that I've tried in the past, I feel like the leadership was lacking. I feel like the leadership here is good, it's solid, it's real, and you can play off that, and you can serve them in that way and play off their desire for leadership, because that's what they want. And realistically, what Renaissance and Invisible Empire is it's an all-inclusive platform, but what you guys have to understand is each person needs their desires and wants and wishes served in different ways. So if you try to sell everyone the same exact way, you won't be making an impact like if you tried to sell people exactly what they wanted, specifically to their needs. Right? So you want to get them in yes momentum. You want to understand that most of selling, most of enrolling is actually letting the lead tell you exactly how to enroll them. And then your job at the end of the day really is a questions master and a solution seeker. So you're asking a question, they're providing the answer, and you're finding a solution for that. So you're asking a question in which, another key question, this is just a little bonus tangent side note here, but another question that I'll often ask people when I'm on the phone with them is why, and we currently have people pretty consistently coming from, doing other opportunities, marketing other offers, doing other things, and they come in here and they go, you know what, I've done X, Y, Z, and I have never seen success in those before. And as a questions master, I want to ask them immediately, why don't you think you've seen success in every other thing that you've done? And then they're going to name reasons, sometimes excuses, as to why they haven't seen success and whatever else they were doing before this. And I'm going to be able to answer them and provide them a solution on why we will fill that gap that they didn't get filled before. Okay, so really quick, raise your hands. I'm going to put all the hands down. Raise your hands right now if you understand why question number 1 is so important to start the phone call off. What did you like the best based on the webinar and the presentation that you just watched? What did you like the best? Because that is what we want to run this entire thing off of. We want to start off in yes momentum, forward momentum. We want to get people moving down the path of yes and solutions, and we want to show them that we, as people that are leaders to them, as people that are leaders in our community, are the people that are going to provide with them those solutions. So thank you guys for those hands. I appreciate it. Now let's move on to question number 2. We're going to make this training snappy today. Question number 2 is, if everything works out in your perfect scenario, right, what is the vision for how this whole thing pans out? So after they share with me the number 1 thing they loved about the webinar, I'm going to ask them if everything, let's put everything aside, put all your doubts and gremlins aside completely. If everything works out absolutely in your dream scenario, what is your vision for how this thing ends up? How do you want this call to go? How do you want your integration to go? How do you want your online business to explode? What are those things that you want out of this? And I want to dig into, and I want to get them digging into their why. I want to get them digging into their absolute dream scenario of income. What do you want to make 60, 90 days from now, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now? What is your lifestyle looking like at that time? What do you want for time freedom? Do you want to be working on the computer for 8 hours a day because that's what you love doing? Or do you want to be on the beach for most of the day and you want to work an hour a day or 2 hours a day from your laptop from remote locations around the world? What is it that you want to do? How do you want your family to be treated, and how do you want them to be affected by all your success that you're seeing online? Do you want them actually benefiting heavily from what you're doing? Because if so, you're gonna have to achieve what's that income in which you can impact your family and your friends, not only yourself with your income. We have to get them into their absolute dream scenario. And most people actually, and this is what you guys will realize as you start making these calls, is most people have never, ever, ever been challenged to think about their dream scenario. Every single person thinks at such a base, low calibration level, just such a level in which they haven't ever been allowed to dream before. It seems like all their dreams died with them as kids, and now that they've become adults, all their dreams have actually died. And they're sitting here on the phone with you wondering if it's still possible to dream. And it's your job as a leader, and this all sounds cliche and like cartoony and whatever, and like Disney or whatever, but what I want you guys to know is to get them to this dream scenario is actually to get them way past the sale. See, in sales and in enrollment, what you want to do is if your prospect is here and your product is here, you want to get them way past it, right? In 21 word for word, the training that you guys went through right before you got on here, whether that be yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever, it teaches you how to get everyone way past the point of the sale. So this is what you want to do. You want to ask them, what is their perfect scenario after this is shooting them way past after they buy. This is shooting them way past after they make their first lead. This is shooting them way past they even get their first buyer. This is shooting them into why are they here in the first place. Okay, and so really quick, raise your hands if this is making sense. Like this has got to make sense right now. You guys have to understand that putting them in the dream scenario, you have to do that. See, marketing, good salesmanship, good enrolling skills, what it is taking your prospects on an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows and allowing them to feel that roller coaster before you get to the point of actual transaction. They need to have multiple yes transactions. They have to have multiple yes scenarios before they actually buy. They have to. They have to, especially for a 5K product like Renaissance. So let's move on to question number 3, and I have a couple bonuses for you guys today as well. So before we get started, right? So this is probably only 4 to 5 minutes into the call. It's very quick. Before we get started, and before we get you officially in, so it's not like this is huge. This is huge in enrollment. This is assumptive selling here. So I say before we get you started and officially in, I'm already assuming they're in. I'm not allowing them any breakage on not being in. I'm actually assuming them in already for them. I'm making the decision for them. So I'm not saying, so do you have any questions answered before you decide if this is for you? No. I'm saying before we get you in, right? This is the last step. This is the last barrier that we cross before you're in. Before we get you in, do you have any final questions that you want answered? And the main thing here, guys, is to not force questions. What's crazy is you're going to come across people and leads that aren't going to have questions. They're just going to ask where they buy. So this is not going to be necessary. But if you start forcing questions down their throat and making it to where they feel like they have to ask questions, they're going to come up with a bunch of questions they don't even care about, and maybe they'll come up with something and objections in their own mind as to why they don't even want to do this in the first place. So the main thing is we do not want to force questions, but every single little gremlin and every single question that's going to hold them back, we want to get those answered. Because if we don't get those answered right now, maybe they'll never be answered. And the last thing we want is we don't want a buyer to come in and refund because they didn't get questions answered before they purchased. We don't want a buyer to come in and think that and expect something different than it actually is on the inside, and then refund and then tarnish our name, tarnish your name as an affiliate. And we just don't want that. We want people to get all their questions answered before they buy, so that they're coming in here, and this is the scenario that I love putting my prospects in. I actually like underselling how amazing this community is, underselling how amazing the trainings are, because when people step into this stuff, they look around, right, from the outside looking in, they look at an amazing offer. But once they step inside the doors, they look around and it's like the best place they've ever been. Invisible Empire is the best place they've ever been. With the courses, with the community, with the leadership, with the offers, with the commissions, everything. It's the best place they've ever been. And that's what we want. We want people to step into something that's even better than what they imagined before they got in. I let people know, I let prospects know daily that once you're in, this gets a lot better. The fun actually begins when you're in. I understand you're excited right now, but understand that your excitement hasn't even begun yet, because just wait till you get in. Just wait till you feel what it's like to be in, right? So the last question here, and the three key questions is, before we get you started today and officially in, do you have any final questions that you want answered before we do this thing? So really quick, give me one more raise of hands if you guys get the third question in a row. Mind you, all of these get answered within, like, I want to say 5 to 7 minutes. these three questions, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do with your prospect after they ask or after they answer these three questions, right? So I appreciate all the raise of hands. Let's move right on to this thing. Let's try to keep this close to 20 minutes here. So number 4 here, right after you ask those three questions, everything from there leads to 21 word for word. So you guys, I cannot stress enough how important this 21 word for word training is. If you have Invisible Empire right now, all you have to do is go to your university, go to the Info Blueprint tab, and then it's module number 19 in there. It's 21 word for word. It's the best closing strategy literally in the world. I mean, I've bought tons of different products, read tons of different books, and nothing compares to this ever that I've ever seen. And you guys deserve to go through it and get ninja. So here are my top 3 out of 21 word for word. And this is literally, whoa. This is literally how I make every single sale. I ask one of these 3 or multiple of these 3 final questions here to get people in. This is how I make every single commission that I've ever made online. So I ask, or I say, okay, so they're ready. I answered all their questions, right? This is post 3rd question, the top 3 key questions, okay? So they're ready to go. And I say, okay, so sign up takes about 2 minutes total, right? And it's really fast and easy. Is blank, right? So I have their application. So mind you, this is people are coming from application into phone call, right? So we teach this in the high ticket freedom formula. You want to send your prospects from your webinar to an application, from an application to a closing call. So this is after they fill out their application. I say is blank, and I get their email from the application. So is blank their email, the best email to send you the link so we can get this done right now. Simple, straightforward, to the point. Is this the best email? So I'm not asking, are you ready to get started? Do you have every little gremlin taken care of? Do you have enough pats on the back letting you know you can do this before we get started? I'm not going through any of that. I'm not going to feed their insecurities. I'm not going to feed their doubt in their mind that's telling them, what if I can't do this? I'm actually going to help them rise to the next level with their confidence and courage. And I'm not going to let their pity, stupid BS answers that they're telling themselves in their minds on why they can't succeed and why they can't do this, I'm not going to let them feed into that low energy. I'm going to bring them up to a higher energy. No matter if they're ready or not, I'm bringing them, right? So is blank the best email account to send you the link so we can get this done right now? If they say yes, then I'm sending them the email with the buy link, and on the phone while they open up the email, while they fill out all their own information, I'm going to be there on the phone closing them while they're filling it out. So they're going to land on our order form, and I'm going to say the first 30 seconds is super simple. All you're doing is filling out your information, your basic information, name, number, email, password, whatever. The second section, also really easy. We just want to know your billing information so we know where to send your cool little care package after you join. Boom, they're done with that. The next section only takes about 30 to 45 seconds. It's just your billing info. All you have to do is put in your card information, and then let me know when you click submit and when you're through. And I'm on the phone, and this only takes 2 minutes, right? So I let them know, sign up only takes 2 minutes, and it does only take less than 2 minutes. And it's really fast, and it's really easy. And I want to stay on the phone with them because I don't want them. Here's the thing. Most people are so afraid of crossing the finish line. Most people are so afraid of actually getting that touchdown. Right? What most people do in this space is they get prospects to the 99-yard line right before they're about to hit the end zone, and they do not close. They're afraid of closing. They say, okay, awesome. I'm going to send you the link. You just let me know when you're in. No. They say, okay, cool. Here's the link. Just shoot me a text when you're in. No, absolutely not. Here's the link. I'm going to stay on with you for 2 more minutes and just make sure that this process goes okay, and that you get your account set up without any hassle or any issue, period. Okay? My second top closing strategy from 21 word for word is I say, I have a complete game plan ready to go for you right after we get you started. Right? So I start off with that because I want to let them know that after they start, I don't just disappear. I actually get involved even more after they start. So I have a complete game plan for you right after you get started. And I do. I take my buyers through a game plan. The game plan is usually 8-figure launch pad, get them from there, going into pictures to profits to start getting some leads and some likes and some engagement on Instagram and on Facebook. And then from there, I send them right through Invisible Empire, and they finish off with High Ticket Freedom Formula. And so with that game plan, like I know that in my head, and I know that's what I'm going to take them through. But I want to make sure that they know that after they buy, the experience only gets better. So I have a complete game plan ready to go for you right after you get started today. I'm going to show you the exact steps that I would take if I were to start my business from the beginning again. Right? So what does that tell them? That second line, I'm going to teach you the exact steps on what I would do if I were to restart my business today knowing what I know. So they're going to think, I'm literally getting the best stuff. Like there's no way Tyler would tell him the wrong steps or the steps that take the slowest to actually succeed. He's going to show me the fastest way to success that he knows. Okay? And I say, are you game to quickly get your account activated with me right now so that we can keep the momentum alive and move into the first few steps of the game plan? So they're not committing right now to the sale, they're committing way past the sale. I'm asking them if they're ready to get their account activated so we can get to the game plan, so we can actually move in momentum into the things that matter. I'm not asking them if they're ready to buy, I'm asking them if they're ready to engage. I'm asking them if they're ready to implement this game plan. Give me a raise of hands really quick if that makes sense. This all has to be post the sale, and it's so easy. All of you guys can do this, no problem. You guys have to put your prospects past the point of sales. You have to put it past the point of them making a transaction with their credit card. You have to get them into the mode of what they're going to do after they buy, because buying should be the most simple step of this entire process. It should be so simple. And so, really quick, here's the last one as we wrap up, and I'll take any questions that you guys have for like 5 minutes. I would love to get you started, and I would love to help you get started in your online business with us right now. Getting you officially in will only take 2 minutes. So people love to hear that getting started only takes 2 minutes. Anything effort-wise that they have to do on their own sucks. Prospects hate and leads hate putting in any more effort. I mean, how many of you guys enjoy taking the time to buy anything? Right? Don't you wish that it was just free, you didn't have to spend any time on it, and it just arrived in your life? I mean, no one likes to spend time on anything. And so I like to let them know and vaccinate them that it only takes 2 minutes to get started. It's very simple. And I say, and I'm game to stay on the line with you as long as we can get that done right now. Like I'm on the line with you right now. I'm game to stay on as long as we can make this happen right now. And I say, trust me when I say the real fun and excitement starts when you take the first few steps in the trainings and within our community. Like I said before, you think you're having fun now, you think it's an amazing program now, just wait till you get it, because that's when the fun starts. Are you ready to get everything moving? So these are my top 3 closing strategies right here. I would take notes of these and I would actually I would use them, guys. I would use your favorites in 21 word for word. There's no correct answer here. There's just what everyone prefers. And I feel like this is just an amazing kind of template for you guys to start generating more leads and more sales online based on the leads that you do get. So really quick, as we wrap up today, I want to wrap up with like 5 minutes of questions. So this is like the 5-minute warning at 10:30 PST, which is in 6 minutes from right now. We are officially done. I'm going to shut the recording off and start uploading this for people to watch the replay here. So really quick, you guys have questions here. I'm going to answer them. I like it. It doesn't look like anyone is getting any questions here, which is good. It looks like Andre says no need to explain it, but would you mind just scrolling up to question 1 so I could see it? I was here a few minutes late. Here you go, Andre. There it is. Really quick, any questions or anything, shoot them in the question box. And then also, really quick, if you guys do want to connect with me more, obviously you can connect with me via Facebook, and that's just at Tyler Tashiro. I should be the first or second. If you just go to Tyler Show, you'll recognize me. I have a surfboard in my picture. If you want to connect with me via Instagram, you can connect with me at Tyler Tashiro. Everything's very congruent here. And then if you want to connect with me via Snapchat, which I know some of you have, some of you don't, not a big deal, you can also do that at Tyler Tashiro. So really quick, we're going to wrap up with any questions here. Victoria says, thanks for the info. I appreciate that. Leo says, please repeat steps you take a new person through. Okay, Leo, I got you. Okay, so here are the steps that I take new peeps. So here's what I do when they start with us in Invisible Empire or Renaissance. Number 1, I take them through the 8-figure launch pad. And that's because a lot of these people that are joining us, they need a complete reframing of their mindset. Most people join us not because they're in an ideal position in which they're making all this money, they have all this time freedom. Most people are joining us because they hate their current position, and because they have that mindset, and because they're inside most likely a 9-to-5 in which everyone around them is negative, their family's negative, their friends are negative, no one's really excelling or moving forward. I want to wipe their mindset clean and have them start fresh. So that's why I have them start with the trainings in the 8-figure Launchpad. The second thing I take them through is Picks to Profit. And that's because we can get them fast wins there. It's very easy to set up an Instagram and rock pictures to profits. The third thing I get them set up is the invisible infrastructure. And the fourth thing that I take them through is high ticket freedom formula, Renaissance. So there you go, Leo. That is for new people. That's the process that I take them through exactly. Christy says, I get a lot of people that like and love my honeypot ads, but no comments. What advice do you have engagement with the prospect before watching the webinar? Christy, two-part question. I'm going to answer it really quick. Number one, likes, especially on Instagram, a lot of them are fake. So granted, pictures of profits, the honeypot, it works really well. A lot of those likes are from fake accounts. The only thing that counts are comments that are from real accounts. And so you just got to keep pumping content out there and people will catch on. Make sure you're using the hashtag. Make sure you're using threading. Make sure you're using Instagram properly. We go through that training if you're not seeing results. And then on Facebook, it's just about upping your presence. The more you up your leadership, the more people engage. And then in regards to Victoria, Victoria says, absolutely, I'm at a corporate job that I hate. Victoria, let's get you out of there, huh? Let's get you completely free and out of there. I mean, you can do it. Ryan says, great info. I appreciate that, Ryan. Oh, I am getting the swirly little disc thing here. Wait for it. Yeah, I'm getting a little swirly thing here. I don't even know if you guys can still see me or hear me, but we will be rocking this thing and calling it Dunzo here. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to end the recording. So I appreciate you guys watching the recording. Go ahead and reach out to me if you want.